on. So a lot of the therapy with all of the kids on the spectrum and spectrum-like disorders is about pragmatic skills. How to enter a conversation, how to repair a conversation that went wrong, how to apologize, how to be reciprocal, how to take turns, how to ask, like simple things like when somebody asks you a question, answer the question, but never in just one word. You can't just say no or yes. You got to answer it in a full sentence, and then you have to ask the question back. And if you ask a question to somebody, if they don't answer, you're allowed to answer. Like these are non-written rules that they don't understand. Like if any of you watch like Curb Your Enthusiasm, like Larry David probably has either a social pragmatic or nonverbal learning disorder because socially he says the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong people. It gets him in trouble. Assessing. This is, by the way, if you've seen Yosemite, this is the other side of Dome. This is like the road less traveled. Most people don't see it from that side of the Half Dome. So assessment I'm not going to go into deeply, except that all that stuff that we just talked about, that's what we're assessing when we're doing an evaluation. So when I'm testing kids, we're getting your observations, parent observations. They're with me for like 9 hours, like spread over three days, sometimes 12 hours, spread over 4 days. So I'm watching them, I'm watching how they get frustrated, where they make mistakes, what kind of comments they make. We're getting a thorough background history because a lot of these things are developmental in nature, and who in the family had a learning disability and who had ADD. And then we're doing a lot of testing. So intelligence testing, processing testing, attentional testing, self-control stuff, executive testing, all that processing stuff we test. Language, pragmatic skills, like the social skills stuff. We're looking at learning and memory. We're looking at academic functioning. So, which is why, hopefully you'll never have to read my reports, and then somebody will read it and just say, just give them extra time, because they're like, sort of make these little mini dissertations. So accommodations that I will talk like in 5 minutes or less. You guys should like this one. So, so accommodations are basically to level the playing field. And since I know we're on a, like 4 o'clock stop, right? Or,
more or less, yeah, I mean.
All right, I got a couple minutes.
Let's
I'm not going to go down the list, but I'll just kind of zip through the slides. The purpose of accommodation is to level the playing field, right? There's a disability, and so they're not functioning. It's no different than, you're in a wheelchair, we got to build a ramp because there's stairs here. Or you're blind, we got to give you braille, or you need a bar in the bathroom. It's the same idea, and that's what 504 is. It's the same law. It's the equal access law. That's, so if you have a learning disability or you have ADHD, the idea is that because of your disability, you can't access your education in the same way that other kids do. So we're going to accommodate this way. Accommodations is the same thing. This is my feel on it, because parents will ask and teachers will ask, well, aren't we like kind of enabling over time? Yeah, in a way. We're also trying to get them through to a certain point in their life where maybe, they can succeed. But it's like if you hurt your knee, some days you can walk around on crutches because you got to get to work and you can't take your time. You got to get in your car and go. And other days, you put the crutches down, you go to rehab, and you try and strengthen the knee so that it's stronger. So accommodations is like the crutch. There are other times, like the tutors that they work with or some of the after-school help, where we're trying to strengthen some of these weaknesses. So it's not just about, well, let's just spoon feed them. We want to strengthen it, but not when we're evaluating them on a test and we want to see how they can perform or when we're asking them to write. So we use accommodations to enhance attention. We use accommodations to assist with executive skills. We use accommodations to assist with executive functioning. I'm sorry, I said that. We want to facilitate processing. We make it bigger, we'll make it louder, wear headphones. Visual motor, use a computer. Graph paper for math problems, things like that. And while I'm going through this, just think to yourselves, because I'm not going to have time to go to that section of it, but if you're running your class, how many of these accommodations, besides like a time and a half, which is a specific thing, and probably laptops, which most kids in the school are using, I'm assuming, right? Or tablets. But how many of these other accommodations can you make as part of your regular class? Because if you have it as part of your class, like you have alternate forms of tests already, and once you do it, you don't have to do it again. Like you have it, and then you know, if somebody needs an accommodation, you're already kind of doing that thing, you know, like you're color coding, baskets where homework belongs, then you don't have to do it for a specific student because you've already done it. So once you do it, I mean, it's kind of top heavy in that you got to front load it and do a lot of work up front, but then once it's done, you know, then your life is a lot easier when you're accommodating moving forward. So we use accommodations to enhance learning and memory. We try and use it to enhance reading, like a proctor, audiobooks, straight edges for kids so they don't read to the next line. We give them outlines, we can do oral testing, we can get them to verbalize and then like have somebody type it, or you know, use Max Speech or a Dragon. Use a calculator or graph paper. We can give alternative types of tests. So that's what I meant before when I said work smarter, not harder, is do these accommodations, and I'll just kind of skip line out because it's just kind of streamlining that. By the way, this is just a chunk of glacial ice on a beach. Right? So it looks weird, but kind of cool. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I mean, I apologize if it was boring, but overviews are, you know, it's like Psych 101, you know, like with covering soup to nuts, and you don't really get into the juice, but you'll have other people come in who will kind of get into some of the real meat of it. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. If not, you know, I'm happy to go about my way. So,
Thank
you can talk behind my back.
So I'm assuming I can speak for everyone. I think Mark's just kind of selling himself short here a little bit. He's kind of telling us that, it didn't do this, but I feel like, you know, I think I can speak for myself and maybe a couple of other people in the room who are in the field, that it's always nice to get sort of a reminder. A refresher course is often exactly what the doctor ordered, all right? For me, it's nice sometimes to be reminded of exactly which symptoms go into which buckets, what we're looking for, how we're looking for it, and then of course that final step of, you know, why we do what we do in order to get them to the next level. So I mean, don't sell yourself short, buddy.
Thanks.
Sounds good stuff.
Self-deprecating humor. Never underestimate your facts.
Are there real quick requests, since
Sure.
we've been emailing back and forth and getting prepared? I would love it if you felt comfortable sharing those slides so I can put it on our Canvas account. And then I'll show
I
everybody
gotta
to
figure
get
out
to
a way to get it from like 365
Yeah,
into something
and then
that's shareable
or if it's
without
just a
password,
link, it will take us in there.
I'll
Yeah,
try and figure out.
and we can work with that, and that would be, because that would be great, because we
Yeah.
would then be able to refresh it, because there's a lot of good stuff in there, and sometimes it's tough to figure out right now on January 30th. You never know, you're gonna find yourself on April 1st going, wait, that was something that we were just talking about, what was it, where was it? And it would be really great to be able to sort of, a couple of mouse clicks away.
You can call me too if you want.
Yeah,
I can answer the question.
Okay, quick reminder, if you're uncertain as to what I sort of laid out in terms of the personal project, or if you came in as I was sort of closing that down and you wanted to ask a couple of questions on that, I welcome you to stick around for a little while. Again, just because I like singling people out and making them feel uncomfortable. Tanya, Stacy, and Kim, recognizing that you just don't have the same access to students as we do, the four of us will have to figure something out that makes sense, because this is going to be one of those things that the state is going to basically mandate that I keep some record of in order to move forward. So everybody who's got access to content and students, let's put some real emphasis on this, because it'll be one of our items, just to call it simple, to put it in simple terms, but at the same time we'll figure something out that works for the.
I think there might have accommodations.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So thanks so much, ladies.
Thank you
Gentlemen.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kim,
Yeah, I'm
okay, so
going.
dumbest question.
The game.
Good.
I have 6 and
It was Iceland, yeah, it was, yeah, it's beautiful. A lot of the pictures.
James, did you want that?
No, but it just the general feedback.
I do, but I just don't use it, so I need to get my username and password.